try this. Get my papers here. This is on the, oh, perfect. I'll go through these drawings. I've got them stacked here, the paper physically in front of me in the same order it is. I've got the digital images, and that gives me all this room here to put up a picture-in-picture of the actual drawing, so something like that. Okay, one, I'm not saying I'm building this right now, and two, I'm not saying exactly if I know where. I think I do have the answers to all those, but I'm still waiting, and life has taught me anything can and will happen, and that rule really applies in Thailand. But having said all that, a little bit on the house itself. So my design philosophy, what factors did a guy that did this for 3 decades or so take into account? Cost, obviously. Construction here is pretty cheap, but the couple factors on cost. One, I see guys tend to build these big ego houses, and that's great. That's cool, I guess, if that's what somebody wants. If that truly makes them happy. That would not make me happy for a number of reasons. I would struggle to pay for it, and I would ask myself why the hell I did this to myself, even if it was free. I like this big ass house to take care of. What am I doing with that? I don't want to be a facility administrator in my golden years. I want to be out lifting weights and riding my motorcycle and having a good time. So cost, size, I want it Paw-D just right. I'm astonishingly happy in this little apartment with Fawn, which I think it's 4 by 6 meters. This here is 5 by 12, so it's quite a bit bigger. I could go smaller and still be happy, and I may, but we are crowded in there. I wouldn't want to be in 4 by 6 forever, and neither would Fawn, although we'd both do it, I think. She's sitting over there just eating a snack, completely content with her life. I should turn the camera around. She's got her feet soaking. Nam Yang Yen Mai. I'm going to turn the camera around. Hang on. There. You can see she's got her feet in the bucket I bought today. She complained for me not to do that because she was too hot and too uncomfortable to go to the store to buy a bucket to put her cold water and put her feet in. So then I went and got it, and then she was just obviously not feeling good, and it made her not in a very good mood. I had to run and get a piece of paper at Blue. And anyways, and then she's sitting in my old pink chair. I moved my orange one over here, which is slightly better, more comfortable back support, but I still have the pink ones. Now I've got 2, which is nice. So I ended up working out. I didn't expect this to happen. Fun, unsurprisingly, I guess to everybody but me, will sit out here and join me. Now that she has a matching chair, so could have done that a long time ago. And we end up having more conversation, which I enjoy. I've hit Paw-D just the right amount on conversation, so that's good. Okay, humorous distraction, set Leo over. So I wanted the house to be just big enough, comfortable to invite that theoretical other couple over for dinner, which never seems to happen here, but if we had a house, maybe it would happen. Actually, I've got a couple friends that would probably come over, so I got a couple that probably wouldn't, but that's okay. Might make a new friend in a couple of years. Who knows? Also, it gives me a bedroom and then like a living room, separated with glass and doors, screen door, and a full solid door. So if Fawn's boys are over and they want to spend a lot of snuggle time with her in the bedroom or whatever, if I've said that's okay, I can, and I'm reading or I'm in a quiet mode, which is common for me, then I can sit out in the front living room, which is where the view is anyways, and do what I'm doing, and vice versa. So it gives us 2 use areas. So right now we're all in 1 use area, and that can be a little taxing, although it hasn't been too bad. Gives us a large closet, gives us a reasonable, mediocre size, nothing crazy, but comfortable and a little bit nice looking bathroom. I'll make sure the tile is good, or damn it, I'll do it myself. I'll end up weeks in the pain ward, but I'll do one last tile job for myself. I'm sure I'll do a couple more yet. I'm sure I'll end up doing something with my boy and my daughter. I'd love to do that. I enjoy and take a lot of pride in my tile work. even though I really was a CEO most of my life, I did pick up some skills, and I was good at a couple things, and tile was one of them. Heat management, really tall ceilings. The building is 5 meters wide, and it's just a single pitch roof. So on the high side, it's 6 meters tall. On the low side, it's 5 meters tall. So really tall ceiling. And that gives enough room for a very small work/second bedroom loft, which is within the 1-bedroom area, so it's not something I'd want to use often for another bedroom. But it could function as such, very obviously. You could throw a mattress up there for whatever, you know, an emergency of some kind or whatever. And but basically it's designed to be storage, just for me, motorcycle parts, things like that I want to keep an eye on that I like. I don't want laying around and scattering and getting lost at a relative's places. Luggage, storing luggage, you know, clean, dust-free storage, and then a work office for Fawn. So it just gives her a dedicated spot that she can leave her papers and things all over, and nobody can see it. Nobody cares. It'd be really nice. Because I like a house neat and minimalistic. I am Scandinavian, predominantly, and I do like that Scandinavian clean design edges. I do like that. So then the other thing on thermal management is corrugated metal roof. There's several companies here that take the metal and bond it looks like maybe 2 inches of polyurethane, expanded polyurethane foam to it, which is an isocyanate. That's a closed cell. That's a thermal set foam. Those are all the best types of polymer you can get, more or less. So it's very high quality foam with a thin plastic skin to it that's black that I've seen. So from the underside, your ceiling looks black, which I like that blacked out ceiling look. While I'm on that subject of the ceiling, I'm going to have open web joists, which you'll see here, and they're going to be like an acid neon orange, like the brightest, most shocking, ridiculous, ice cold. I like my colors like my beer, ice cold. Ice cold orange you've ever seen against the black ceiling, and maybe the second story walls will be a gray of some kind, like an industrial battleship gray or something. Really the heavy industrial look as you look up, and then as you look around, it's all cool colors, but very kind of what you might think of as Caribbean. Anyway, so that's that. The last thing on thermal management will be the concrete block construction, as regular viewers will know, will be AAC. AAC is aerated autoclaved concrete. There are other types of lightweight concrete that aren't available here that probably should be, but that's another life for me because I'm done. But aerated autoclaved concrete is a 100-plus-year-old invention in, I want to say, Sweden. You take concrete with no aggregate in it whatsoever, no pebbles, no stone, no nothing, and just sand only, just the concrete and sand, and that's it, the cement and sand. And water, of course, but you know, you get the idea. And you form it into a block type shape, and then you pull a vacuum. You put it in an autoclave, which is a giant tube that's got, you know, gasketed door on the front, like a decompression chamber, right? And you pull a vacuum on it, and then you heat it. That concrete cures very quickly, and it cures under boiling. That's interesting. It becomes like a giant Lego kids building block. You can pick up a big concrete block of it. It's going to weigh like 2 pounds. It's super light. It's like 98% void, 97% void, bubble, air. And it's just a little webbing of concrete to hold it together. You can cut it like Wile E. Coyote in the cartoon with an old-fashioned wood saw. You can run a regular wood screw into it. You can glue it together or mortar it together. It is, and these are broad but true statements, totally impervious to all insects. Totally impervious to all water, totally non-wicking because of the closed cell design of the foaming, like the closed cell of the roof. Closed cell foam is the better of the two, open or closed cell, closed cell. So you get where that's all going. So the first floor and going all the way up to the first story will be this aerated autoclaved concrete going up, you know, to about 3 meters. The 5 and 6 meter height will be a how do I say this for lay people? It's going to be a mag board, an MGO board. It's going to be a fiber cement board like you would think of as a tile board. It's the size and thickness of like drywall or sheetrock of normal construction in America or something like that, but it's not using gypsum. It's using concrete and wood fiber together. And despite the fact that it has a high wood fiber content, like 15 or 17% or something, it is completely impervious to water. Yes, it can get wet. It will not change shape. And water doesn't go through it very well at all. And that's before you paint it or coat it with anything. So that is like a masonry, but it's only a 1/2 inch thick. And so it's cheaper, faster, and that gives my steel structure a place to go. So when I'm going up high, I can web it and cross brace it so the whole building isn't going to want to wiggle or move or lose it in a high wind, because that would be embarrassing and I wouldn't like that. Normally they use these concrete posts. They're 6 by 6 or 8 by 8 inch posts. They're precast concrete posts. And they have like a widened pad at the bottom, and you plant them in the dirt all around, and then you pour a bullshit concrete between them. Forgive the language, that's just what it is. And it's a site mixed, in place mixed. And it might be okay. I think I really like better just pouring one actual decent freaking slab of concrete. The standard 4-inch wire reinforced, nothing crazy. If I build on Fawn's land, it's a really good piece of land. I don't have to worry about much. I'll take the chance, but I don't think it's much of a chance at all. And then bolt steel columns to that. That gives me more control to line everything up nice and tight. And then bolting it to a giant, big, heavy concrete slab gives it some frickin' stability. And it gives me a great thermal mass to anchor the house to. Soil, I think everywhere is 56 degrees Fahrenheit. In Thailand, maybe it's a little hotter, but it isn't 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I damn well know that. So you'll get the cooling effect of the soil through the old-fashioned, non-aerated concrete slab, which will conduct heat rather efficiently. So heat going out, which is the conducting you want. Sun heat load going in will be slowed by all the closed cell foam on the walls and up on the roof. And the upper part of the structure, the walls not being the foamed concrete, but being that mag board, who cares? It's in the shade, no sun load. And you're not going to have a lot going on up there thermodynamically. I'm looking at even putting some vents up high so the air constantly can bleed out, so any hot air collects in the high ceiling. I'll put a pipe about that big in with a screen in it and leave it open, no window, no nothing. There's just a constant open hole in the house. It'll just bleed hot air all the time. I like that idea, because the air conditioner is going to settle at the bottom, which means the office will tend to be warmer. I'll put fans up there. Fun won't be up there much anyways. Maybe it'll just be a storage loft for all I know. I don't know. I'm not going to do any kind of thermodynamic analysis of the house because that would take a lot of time, and I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to build it and see what the hell happens. Might I put some foam board in behind the mag board? Maybe. I don't know if that's necessary. It's probably not. Anyway, so looking at the drawings, I'll start with the elevation. That's the first thing that's going to be popped up here by the magic of film editing. You'll see on the left side the house 5 meters wide. I don't show that. Oh yeah, I do. Up at the top is 5 meters width is listed. On the left is a 5 meter height. On the right you'll see a 6 meter height. You'll see very stand out the 3 porthole windows. That's going to look like a drilled out lightweight gusset. That's my little tip to engineering. Fawn likes round windows. It's a triangular area up there. I just went with it. The orientation, technically the $50 word is fenestration, which is the orientation and organizing of layout of windows. Okay, I'm not trying to be a dick. That's just a word we would always use in the office. But the fenestration of those 3 porthole windows isn't complete. They're not lined up the way I would like. I'll have to get by the windows, line them up on site about 57 different times, get them where I want, cut the holes. Now the front elevation, the front wall here, outside wall is an elevation. That will be the aerated autoclave concrete all the way up, because it's going to take a sun load, and I got those 3 porthole windows. I want to look good in there, and just because I think that's just a good idea. My brain tells me it's common sense to have 1 2-story wall, all masonry, even though that the aerated autoclave is kind of bullshit masonry at best. I'm telling you, I could kick through that wall, and I'm dead serious. It's not that tough, okay? Anyhow, 2 symmetrical windows, a door in the middle, a little transom window above the door. Pretty basic stuff. My eye told me I needed some kind of decorative feature between the door and the window and the porthole windows. I've got a line of little bumps. They make all these little glue-on, little molded concrete things all over the place. And you can even make your own out of a bottom of an empty Pepsi bottle or something, or whatever we find. And it may be a project for Fawn to do. She'll mold all 37 little things, or however many I determine we need, and I'll tell her how to make them, and she can make them maybe. I don't know. That's actually not a bad idea. Now, interestingly, to the right, you'll see a grade-in structure. That's the bongdat, the shade structure for the pool. And if you look carefully back to the left, just under the roof, you'll see that open web truss design, that truss. That's those orange trusses. You see those bright orange trusses. They'll be bright orange again probably. Why not paint them all the same at the same time? There. And that's going to give shade over about half of the pool. Will be permanently in under a shade structure. The rest I'll count on trees. And then in the afternoon sun, the house itself becomes a shade structure for the pool. Rob's put some thought into this. Yes. And that shade structure blocks some of the early morning, the late morning, early afternoon strong sun off the front of the house, helps keep the sun load down. Rob's put some thought into this. So sun load management has been really well managed here in my opinion. Also breeze management, the breeze goes left to right across here and have various decorative walls and garden walls and plantings of trees in certain patterns to funnel a breeze across through this area. We're going to do that for sure. And I got some ideas on how to do that. So I think for right now that's the front elevation. And then going to the floor plan. So I think, yeah, I'll make it that way. Okay, so you're going to have the front of the house at the right, where it says 5 meters, that's the width, and the kitchen laundry, which is the rear of the home, on the left. Now, on the left, that kitchen laundry room is drawn proportion to a 1.5 meter width. I had some kind of brain malfunction when I laid that out, and I ran out of paper. But it's 2.5 meters wide, and it's shown as 2.5, but it's drawn as 1.5. So when that area looks narrow and ridiculous, it is. But a 2.5 meter wide kitchen laundry, 5 meters long, is huge. Not ridiculously huge, but very comfortable here. Fawn will have plenty of room. It will be a kitchen and a laundry. Fawn will I'll come up with a layout that makes her happy. There's an exterior door there, and there'll be a sidewalk running along the bottom of this house here, which will be the left side as you're looking at the front, where all these dimensions are called off. That'll be a sidewalk there. So people can walk from the front of the house along a sidewalk and walk directly into the kitchen. So when Fawn's entertaining, which she may want to show this off at least a couple times a year, I imagine, I'll be flabbergasted if she doesn't. I'm sure she will. And this allows her to have her and help go in and out of the kitchen without walking through the whole house. So that's Thai style, and I like it. Continuing our left to right, which is just how I started, there's a closet next. You see the closet, pretty basic. The only thing of interest with the closet is it is niched out there. You can see in darker colors, and it says ship steps. It's a very short, steep ladder. That's not all worked out. I'm going to work that out more later when I go to the actual digital design, 3D design. I've got some ideas already on that, but there's going to be some steep, short stairs, space compact stairs there going up because the loft area is very small. As you can see, the loft is just the size of the second floor area, in quotes, over the closet and the bathroom and the hallway between those two rooms. That is the extent of the loft. At the higher end of the picture over the closet, that's going to be a full, I could stand up in there. On the other end, I couldn't. So that'd be a great spot to stack like those sealed plastic containers for out-of-season clothes, heavy coats you wear once or twice a year, whatever, Fawn's old school paper she needs to store for her records or whatever. You get the idea. Maybe some bespoke motorcycle parts. Maybe an area to work on a motorcycle engine. That'd be lovely. Anyways, so that's kind of thing. The bathroom itself is going to be a one open bathroom. The floor all can be wet, but the floor is not designed to all get wet. So you can walk in and out without getting if you're in your socks, for example, like I sometimes walk around, and you walk in there, and then you got to walk across a wet floor to use the toilet. I don't really enjoy that. So I've put the shower in the far corner. There's one little glass partition, which is how I did all my showers back in the States, by the way. Never put a door in a shower, ever. I successfully talked every client into an open shower with glass partition only. Never had water outside, never had a complaint. Just got to design it correctly. And then a simple sink. Pretty basic bathroom, but it'll be nicer, and with the tile work and some ornate this and that and some fancy paint, it'll be way nicer than anything any of our friends have, and that'll be just fine. The bedroom, the magic room, as I think Fawn refers to it. Little joke there, no offense to anybody. But enough room for 2 nightstands. That's our actual bed size there. Entertainment cabinet, 1 chair. There's room for a second chair, maybe facing it, matching it, possibly, which might be nice, including a little tiny coffee table between the two. Might be pleasant in the morning to sit in the bedroom and have a coffee, maybe. See how that goes. Door to the outside, also door to the living area. The living area is the largest room, 4.5 by 5 meters. That's almost the size of our whole place. I could probably cut that down a little if I want, and maybe I will. I'll see what this looks like and see what the costs look like. But room for a nice seat 6, very comfortable, custom, solid, hardwood table. Those are, it's probably 10 grand here, maybe 20 for a really nice, thick, really, something really like wow. And I want a little wow factor, so yes. Some type of server, some coffee tables, couple chairs and a couch. Not sure about the arrangement. Those 2 chairs are set to look at the sunrise, which might be rather pleasant. That's all wall of glass, of course, so looking out. Pretty nice floor plan, pretty basic. It was hard to boil it down to this. Simple things are often the most difficult, and this is an example of that. I've gone through about a dozen different, broadly, vastly different floor plans, starting with American-type floor plans, which would have been a disaster. I'm going to obviously have to do a part 2. Sorry. No. Thank you for supporting my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.